morning. I am starting out today in the bathroom, which I know I don't usually do that, but I don't usually wash my hair at night, and I did last night. After we got home really late, I took a shower like I usually do, but I don't usually wash my hair. I usually will wash my hair in the morning, and I did, and then I fell asleep with it, and then I put it up in a ponytail, and it was still like not wet, but it was like a little damp. So anyway, I don't usually straighten my hair or really do much to it at all. I'm a busy mom, and if you're a busy mom, you know, you don't really do much to it. But I'm gonna kind of get the little creases out. I got my straightener warming up, so I figured I would just kind of chit chat with you guys for a little bit while I fix my hair. And then, like I said, we have kind of a decent amount that I'm wanting to get done today. I want to put up the rest of the Christmas stuff in the house, but I feel like before I do that, I have to kind of deep clean a couple of areas. Usually I will do like the rugs, I'll deep clean them outside with the pressure washer and stuff like that twice a year, and I didn't do that this fall, so I kind of really need to do that before it gets cold. It has been, the temperatures went back up, so it's kind of warmer here today, and it is very sunny, so it's kind of the perfect day to clear all the furniture, clean underneath it, and then get the rugs clean for, you know, the rest of the season until spring when I usually do it again. So I want to do that today. I want to finish putting up the rest of the Christmas decorations. The kids are outside. We have a lot of leaves in our yard, and I think they're just going to do little pieces at a time. So I guess it would help if I did my hair while I chit-chatted, but they are going to do like portions of the yard at a time throughout the week. That way it's not like so much at one time. And they're gonna start like on the back deck today. So they're gonna do that. My husband is doing the gutters now, and we're just kind of going around the house and doing what needs done. Some of the windows need done, the screens need cleaned off. So we've been working on all that already this morning, and just kind of getting things all tidied up, ready to go. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I do not host for Thanksgiving. We host at our house for Christmas, but I don't host for Thanksgiving, so I'm not expecting guests or anything, but it's always nice to kind of head into the holidays with a nice clean house. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to do. After that, it gets really hectic and we start hosting. We have family come in from out of town, and I just know that I want to start with a clean slate. Everything needs wiped down. My bedroom, I feel like, really needs dusted. We have the dogs in and out, and when you have pets, it just accumulates a lot of pet fur, dander, so I'm wanting to get that all kind of taken care of and all of that before we put up the Christmas stuff. But anyway, so let's do some deep cleaning today, get some things ready to go, and then my next video will be us finishing all of the Christmas decor.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Amber. On my channel, I like to do a lot of homemaking, cooking, cleaning, decorating, a little bit of everything from our family's life. So if that is stuff that you like to watch, I would love for you to subscribe and join our awesome community. But anyway, like I said, we have a ton going on today, so let's get right into it. It was kind of funny this morning. We woke up and immediately started working on stuff. Now that is pretty normal for me, but Kyle is not really one that usually cares about the house. He absolutely always helps out and stuff, like cleaning up, doing dishes, all that kind of stuff. But he doesn't usually care if it's a mess. This morning, however, it was apparently dirty enough that he was just like, okay, we need to like work on this. We need to get it under control. So his main thing right away was he wanted to go outside and get to the gutters that had accumulated a bunch of leaves. On the other side of this part of the house, there's a big tree. And so the leaves will fall down onto the roof and then they slide into these gutters in particular. So these ones have been really full, and this is actually just accumulated from recently. So he wanted to get to all of this before the kids came out and started sweeping up and getting all the leaves on this back area all under control and put into bins to be picked up. He was also really excited about hanging the Christmas lights, so he was wanting to get to all the gutters, get them nice and clean before he hung up the lights. So while he was working on that, I headed inside and I'm kind of just walking around and showing you kind of the mess that I was talking about. Now, it's not necessarily too messy. That wasn't necessarily what I was talking about. I am referring, it just seems very dirty. Like nooks and crannies needed cleaned out. I am going to be cleaning under the couch and it is terrible. I have not cleaned it in a number of months and so much dust is under there. So we needed just to get into all the little places that I have been avoiding. The floors really needed cleaned. These windows here is what I'm showing you now. We use them like dry erase boards. The kids do math problems and spelling and all kinds of stuff on the backboard or on the back sliding doors. So those needed wiped off and cleaned in general. Just stuff needed cleaned. And I felt like I needed to kind of get in there before we have a bunch of guests, dust and get under furniture. Like I said, needed to do these rugs because they had not been done since the springtime. So I needed to get in and just really give things a good deep clean. It's not so much about the surface level dust or anything like that. It's kind of the things that I have been putting off for way too long. The first thing that I am working on are these piles of clothes, and I'm putting them in the garbage bags, but they are for donation. So I plan on dropping those off a little later. I actually have a whole area in my garage where we keep all of our donation stuff, and then once we have like a really full car, then we'll go and donate it all at one time. So these will just go down there with that. But what these are right before the holidays, I go through all of my kids' closets. Actually, my older ones, I'll have them go through. So these were from my oldest son, Jackson. He went through all of his clothes, tried on everything to see if it fits, if it doesn't fit, if he doesn't like it anymore, whatever it may be. And we decluttered heavily. I think we got rid of like half of his closet here. So, I am going through all the stuff that he did not want anymore or it doesn't fit him, and I'm putting in these bags. I'm going to put them by the front door so whenever people go down to the garage, they can just bring these with them. I think decluttering is a huge thing that people do in the fall. I know that we do that a lot in the fall here too. We also do it in the spring, but something about the fall where you're right about to go through the holidays and get a bunch more stuff brought into your house, and it just feels really good to lighten the load right before you get a bunch of stuff. So that is something I usually always do. I know my kids usually will get not only, toys and things, but they'll also get clothes from a bunch of different people, including myself. I like to always give them at least an outfit for Christmas and some pajamas. I always liked growing up and having a new outfit for Christmas Day. So I always liked getting an outfit, and I think my kids like that too because that's always something that they've gotten. So anyway, I love to go through their clothes right before and make sure that we are starting out the season fresh and we don't have a ton of clutter and that we're not just going to be accumulating more. This is Ted's very, very loved bone stick. I don't know what this is called, but it's like, I don't even know the material. It's kind of like a foam but Anyway, he absolutely loves it. He brings it in the house most days, and he like parades it around to show everybody, even though we've all seen it in a million times, but he is super proud of it. And he had brought it into the house again. He does like almost every day, but so I was bringing it out since he was playing out in the yard, since it's such a beautiful day. Okay, so I know I have discussed this on my channel a really long time ago, but I'm just recently starting to like try this whole system out. So I got these baskets at Hobby Lobby, and it actually looks kind of small, but it's pretty big. It's almost comparable to like my laundry basket here. And they were really, really cheap. They are $5, I want to say, for this size. And then usually you can find them on sale like every other week. And I want to say they're like 40 or 50% off. So you can actually get these baskets for a very good deal. And they're back in the basket and like storage section. So anyway, I got a couple of these, and I'm sitting here talking to my daughter and going through more of my son's clothes because he went through them all and tried everything on and sorted it, but I wanted to also go through and wash everything. If you have teenagers, I don't know if it is just me that I feel like it's not. I feel like this has to be a thing for other people, but some of that. Okay, so my son is really, really bad about bringing up his dirty clothes from his room, and they just accumulate, and I don't necessarily mind it as long as it's not more than like a load in the washer, because then I can just throw in an entire load of his, and that's usually how it works. However, he like doesn't care, and so like he'll rewear stuff, or I don't know, he just drives me crazy. And or he will wear like the same couple of things over and over and over, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that you've worn that shirt 4 times, like let's try on a different shirt. So anyway, it has been driving me crazy. So one thing I'm doing is implementing that system, and I'm trying it out with him. He's kind of my guinea pig. But what I'm doing is there is a system where when you have a basket for every family member, and then like in your laundry area, and then whenever you take their stuff out of the laundry, you put it into their specific basket, and then they can then take it and fold it or hang it or whatever you do in your family. But it is already sorted, and it's kind of less work that you have to do. You're just sorting it for your family members. If they're really little kids, obviously you would have to help them with that. But the older kids, it apparently works very well. And I know that there are other YouTubers that also follow this system. So I've been wanting to give it a try for a while, and like I said, I'm using my oldest as kind of a guinea pig because he's been driving me crazy with his clothes lately. So that is what I did. I got a couple of baskets, and I figured I would try out this system and see if it's something that will work in our family to make things a little easier. I'm always trying to find new ways to make everything just a little bit easier. So we will see. I will keep you updated to see if that is something that will work, but that is something that I've been wanting to try for quite a while. So I'm pretty excited to get started on that. Okay, so now that I have a couple of areas tidied up, I have some laundry going, just various things like that out of the way, I'm really, really wanting to get to these rugs. So I'm going to clear this area. We're going to move the table over, and I'm also going to give the rug a good vacuum before I bring it outside. And then I'll also vacuum and mop the area underneath it. I don't usually do this unless my husband is home or my kids are around, because that table, it does not look heavy, but it is really, really, really heavy. I don't even know why it's so heavy, but anyway, it is so heavy. So I always need help. I can't just move the table out of the way by myself. It is definitely at least a 2-person task. So I usually will wait until they're around, and that might honestly be why it's taken me so long, because by the time that they were around to help me move it, it's such a task. If you move rugs and stuff, you know it is such a task to move the furniture and the rugs, and I do it twice a year, and I probably should do it a little bit more than that. I have 4 kids, so they could probably use it a little bit more, but man, it is always such a production to move everything. And so I think that's just why I just don't do it as often as I should. So while I'm in this area, before I mop, I'm wanting to get these windows clean. We have the dogs that they always put little dog prints all over our sliding doors and windows and just everywhere. So we have that. And then, like I said, the kids use this for school. So I'm wanting to get all of the writing and stuff off of these before I go in and mop the floor over here. I'm curious if you have a wet, dry vacuum, which one you have, and if you like it. I have been looking at them recently, and I've asked for one for Christmas. I don't want like a crazy expensive one because I'm honestly really concerned that I'm not gonna like them. I don't know why. I have not tried them, but I feel like it's like, well, is it really gonna do a really good job on the floors? Like, is it really that great, or are people just saying it because they're like sponsored on YouTube? Because that's usually where I see them, are on channels on YouTube. So I am really curious if you have one, if you like it, if you feel like it replaces the mopping and vacuuming like on a daily basis. Not so much like the deep clean, because I feel like I'll still have to go in, with my spin mop and do I'm assuming a deeper clean. I feel like they're not meant for deep cleaning, but correct me if I'm wrong, because like I said, I'm not sure. I feel like my only experience are the people on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure they're usually sponsored. So I would like some good insight from people that own them, that use them regularly. Which ones do you have, and do you like them? Would you recommend a different one? I would really love to know from you. I like to work in sections around my house. So now that I have the dining area all kind of picked up and washed, we moved the table back so my kids could work at it. And then we're now going to move on to the living room area. So you're going to see there is a ton, it is so dirty under my couch. And this is because I don't think I have moved my couch since the last time I did my rugs, probably in the spring. I was pretty surprised that there wasn't like toys and like a ton of things under it. It was mostly dust and dog hair. There was a couple like pencils and wrappers, but honestly, like I picked it up here because my vacuum's not. And then also these bigger chunks are actually beans. So they went back under the couch. My vacuum will never pick up the beans, but I'm going to go through here with a broom and get the stuff. You'll also notice that like you can still see it. I plan on moving the couch a couple of times, but just because of the layout and how things were kind of going, I don't do all of it on camera because it was just really difficult to maneuver around and get to the spots that were fully under the couch still. So I do get those, but not all of it is going to be on camera. I'm giving the rug a very good vacuum before my kids help me bring it downstairs to the driveway. We are on an incline, so whenever I wash them, I like to do it it on the incline of the driveway. That way, as it's drying and as, you know, I'm washing it and stuff, the dirty water is running down the driveway and not just like staying in the rugs. So they're helping me get this one. This rug was really, really heavy. I love this rug. I got it, I think when we moved in, and I only got it for like $40, and it's huge. It's like a 10 by something rug, but I just absolutely love it. It has like the rubber bottom, so it doesn't slide. It stays in place. And the other rug is an indoor-outdoor rug, the one that goes under our dining room table. So these are our main rugs that I usually wash more frequently. I try to do it at least 2 times a year, but there are times where I'll actually do it a little bit more. So anyway, I have those out in the driveway, and I'm just kind of sweeping up the beans and the various things that the vacuum could not get. And then I'm going to come in. You see me vacuuming because I feel like the broom just doesn't pick up everything. So I'm going to vacuum. And honestly, before we bring the rug back in, I go through it again and I vacuum again. And I think I even spot mop again. So I am very diligent whenever I move all the furniture and move the rugs. I do make sure that the floor is very, very clean, because if I'm going to be doing all of this, I'm going to do it all right and get it nice and sparkling clean before I move it all back in. I mentioned earlier how it was a nice sunny day. I swear the sun left as soon as I walked outside to do the rugs. So that is why it is not sunny anymore. And unfortunately, it took a little bit longer for the rugs to dry. But what I'm going to do, you saw I just kind of I poured on some, it's like a fluid that I kind of make, a soap and some really hot water. And I'm doing that because I don't plan on using the pressure washer. I decided, one, I didn't really want to get that all out and have to deal with it. And two, because the sun was no longer out, I didn't want to completely drench the rugs, and they would just be out here forever. So I instead put a solution all over both rugs, and I'm going through and I'm putting like the soap solution and hot water from this what is this called? A shampooer. I put that on there, and I'm going to let it sit, and I'll go up in the house and kind of continue to work on things while these are sitting in the solution. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to come back down once these have sat in the solution for a little bit, and then I will kind of dry them up. This has a heating element on it too, so that does help tremendously with drying these. But I wanted to let them just kind of sit in the solution for a little bit. It is always very helpful when the sun is out, especially if you have like lighter rugs like these, because I feel like the sun really helps get those stains out. So if you have lighter rugs and you do stuff like this, I highly suggest doing that on a bright and sunny day. Like I said, it was bright and sunny up until I brought these rugs out, and then it just disappeared all afternoon actually. When I come back out here, I think the sun comes out for a couple of minutes, but I'm like, man, my luck with this. Does anyone else have outlets in your floor like this? So right next to my foot, you can see there's an outlet. It's a heavier duty one. It's like made of metal. And then there's another one that is really not too far from this one. And they have separate switches on our walls. And I mean, don't even get me started with the switches. We have so many in our house, and they go to the weirdest things. So we have like one that goes to these ones on the floor, and then we have ones that go to, I want to say just the tops of the outlets. It's either just the tops or just the bottoms. It is so weird. And we have a ton of them. And then we have some double switches where like if this one is up and this one is down, then you can't turn on the fan or something. We have been here for what, like 4 years now, 3 or 4 years. And I still have not learned them, and I've kind of really don't care enough to. So I can turn on a couple of the lights in my house, but like the ones that, I don't know, it's just, there's so many, and I'm like, you know what, I just don't care enough. I'll just ask my husband. My kids, I think, have a general idea, but anyway, it's the weirdest thing because those outlets on our floor, they are covered by the rug, so we don't even use them. But they are in the weirdest spots. When we took up the rug, I think every single time we do, my husband and I, we sit there and we're like, why, how did this even work for like, lamps and stuff like that for tables? Because I'm assuming that's what they're for, is, you know, the little, end tables, I guess is what they're called. You know, they have lights on them next to recliners or whatever. But we're just like, it doesn't even make sense where they are. They're like right in the middle. You would never put a table there. It was just, I don't know. It is the weirdest thing, and it makes you really question, like, why would they do that? I don't know. They just seem weird to us, and I think it's probably just where they're located in our floor. It just seems very unlikely that any furniture will be where those are at all. Like, you're gonna have to be stepping over cords because it just is so awkward. Anyway, I'm rambling, and if you've been on my channel for a while, you're totally used to that. I just can't like sit here and not ramble because I just feel like I'm talking to my friends. So I apologize if you're new here and you're not used to rambling. If on my channel, that is kind of what we do. So anyway, I have moved on to my bedroom. And I don't end up going through and wiping it all down. At this point, I was really starting to feel it from the dust in the living room and dining room, and it gets in my eyes. I sneeze constantly. I don't feel good. I get those headaches. I am very, very sensitive to the dust, and I did not think that I could really handle much more of it. So I vacuumed because my room really needed it. And then I do plan on doing a deeper clean in my bedroom, but I just could not manage it this day. I do end up doing a little bit more dusting and stuff like that whenever I went in and did like the Christmas decorations in here. Oh, and really quick, do not look because I did put some of them up. I was trying to figure out which ones I wanted in here. So don't look right now. I'm going to move it out of the way, and then you won't even know it's there until my next video for the Christmas decorations. Okay, you can look now. So I moved that stuff out of the way. I'm going to wipe it all down and dust here. But other than that, I don't really get to dusting because I just couldn't handle it. And if you peek in my bathroom, I have all the cleaners in there because off camera, while my camera was charging, I cleaned the main bathroom downstairs, and we have another one upstairs, but because my daughter, her room's up there, she uses it. She's the only one, and so she is responsible for that bathroom. So anyway, we have the downstairs one, and I like to go in and give that a deep clean every now and then, but for the most part, the kids are responsible for keeping that nice and tidy. But I went ahead, and while my camera was charging, I cleaned it. And then I'm like, you know what, my bathroom needs cleaned. So once I was done with the cleaner, I would just like go and put it in my bathroom. And Kyle, he went in and cleaned the whole bathroom for me, which is, I get it. If your husband helps out a lot, you're like, why is that such a big deal? So my husband does help out a lot, but he never cleans the bathrooms. And that's something that I feel like I had to teach him recently because he just never did. And I think it's just because I just always did before he did. So he never ever had to learn. But he actually did it. And I was so proud. And I was like, thank goodness I don't have to do the bathroom. So that's why it was a big deal. But he helps out tremendously. He's always helpful, but it's just, I don't know, for some reason I'm like, oh my gosh, you did the bathrooms. So anyway, I was pretty excited to get out of that. And now I'm back outside and I'm actually like sucking the water and solution up out of the rugs. And then, like I said, this has a heating element on it. So while I'm doing that, it is also drying it. And I couldn't decide at this point if it was super weird that I wasn't wearing shoes, but I felt like my shoes were going to, because these like had water, and I just felt like it was going to get it dirty, and that weirded me out more. So I'm like, okay. And they weren't like really, really wet. So it's not like my feet were soaking wet. But yeah, if you're curious why I'm not wearing shoes, that is why I had my sandals on, and I just felt like it was kind of weird. And not on the other rug. I think because this one is thicker, I didn't want to get like dirt and stuff in it and just kind of, erase all the work I just did. So for the most part, that rug, I did not wear shoes. I kind of go back and forth with this one because this one is an indoor outdoor rug and I don't feel like any dirt is really like being smashed into it. So I go back and forth with this one. This one also usually dries super quick because it is an indoor outdoor rug, and I always say that this was one of the best decisions I made with rug purchases because it goes under my dining room table, and it is just so easy to clean. I like it. It does a better job when you're using the pressure washer, but I just didn't want to deal with all that. I will get that back out in the spring, and that is how I will do it. But this is perfectly fine for now. The pressure washer, I feel like, gets it back to like almost perfect, and this method is the next best option. So I will do that in the spring, but for now this is just as good. The rug wasn't completely dry, so I ended up just hanging it from the balcony like you just saw. And while that is drying, I am getting to the laundry that never ever ends at this house. There is sometimes where I wonder, are we housing more people than what I'm aware of? Because that's actually how I felt recently, because I'm staying on top of it and I'm doing it every single day. It seems like I'm doing more than one load a day, but it is like not making an impact. Like I still have so many dirty clothes and I'm like, how is this even possible? Especially because we just went through a bunch of, like, I think the only people that we have not gone through their clothes and decluttered are my daughter and my husband and I. Other than that, we've decluttered, and it's like, how do we still own so many clothes? So I am folding our endless clothes, and I was watching someone on YouTube. I'm trying to think who it was. Oh, I think her name is Beth from Feral Tradwife. She is so hilarious. I found her, it's been almost a year, and I think she's been on YouTube for a little more than that, but she is hilarious, and I always like watching her videos. But it's funny because while I'm watching, I'm, folding clothes. I love watching YouTube because it helps motivate me, and so I am just like you guys, watching videos on YouTube from other creators and getting my motivation that way too. So I was watching her, and it is so funny because our cat, every time I turn her on, she watches too, and I'll show it in just a minute. But it's at first I thought, maybe it's just a coincidence that she's just like watching the TV, but no, it is every time we turn her on, she sits there and is watching. So I actually took a video of it to show you, but then I also took a couple of pictures because I'm like, I have to send this to her so she can see that, you know, not just us are watching your videos. My cat absolutely loves you too. Anyway, so I just thought that was kind of funny. And my husband, he walked in during this and I'm like, look at this. Like, it is definitely Beth. It is not just a coincidence. She absolutely loves Feral Tradwife on YouTube. I'm working on my second load of laundry here. I have a third one, but I ended up not getting to it because I had to do dinner and get that all going for the family. So I only got to 2 loads, unfortunately, but we'll just have to set that aside for a different time, and I'll show you in just a moment. My kids, Lincoln and Theo, last Christmas, they actually asked for Christmas socks. And so they have already gotten those out this year to start wearing for Christmas. They're super excited. I just thought it was so funny that we've already gotten those out and they're already wearing them for them to be in the dirty clothes. Anyway, I will also have the finished product of our rugs, so stick around for that. And here is the cat. She's watching Beth, and I just thought that was so funny. But anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My next video will be the remainder of our Christmas decorating, so stick around if you want to see more of that. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!